Hello, I am Mr. Green. I will be your teacher in American government this semester. And this video is an introduction both to Canvas and to the syllabus that we'll be using during the semester. There's a video quiz that's associated with this video. So you may want to take some notes so that you can answer the questions on the quiz, or you may want to play it more than once in order to do that. And I think I've got it organized in such a way that it should be easy for you to scroll back and forth through it and find where you are. I'll be running this video and all of the classwork that we will do using PowerPoint slides, and probably about right now, you'll see the invitation that has my picture on it. You can see that I look just like my picture, so there's no fraud going on here. I am your teacher for the semester. The second slide that I want to show you is the information sheet that I will pass out on the very first day of classes. So you'll get this in hard copy, fill it out, and give it to me. There is one posted on Canvas in case you want to look at it and use it to print it out and have it ready to go when you arrive in class if you want. I'm going to need one of these from you very early in the semester. It's the way that I get your name so that I can match it up, collate it with the official roles that the registrar has. My instructions are, if you do not attend class on the first day, I usually give you a couple of days, then I'm to withdraw you from the class. And the way that I know if you have attended is if I get this sheet from you. So it's very important that I get it. If you pull it up on Canvas or look closely on this slide, you will see down in the middle that I'm asking you for a 6-digit code. When I post grades later on in the semester, another where I need to give you information that you can find based on a code. I cannot use your student number. That violates federal law, so you'll need to make up this code and have it ready to go when you come. Please don't use your name. Use something that you'll remember, that when other people in the class see it, they won't know exactly who you are. Okay? So the next slide says using Canvas. I run the class using Canvas, as most of the professors do now. Many of you used it in high school. But just in case you're new to it, I'm going to show you now how to get to it from the Dixie College website. So begin with a slide showing the homepage for the university. And let's see, I think at the top, you can see an arrow pointing to the selection My Dixie. If you'll select that, you get this page, the My Dixie page, and right in the middle there is a way to log into Canvas. So you make that selection and you get this login page. In the course of registering at the university, you should have gotten a Dixie ID and password. The Dixie ID is this D 8-digit number, and the password is something that you've made up. If you haven't acquired that number, you won't be able to get past here into Canvas, and I can't help you with that. It's beyond my competence, okay? So you need to contact someone at the university to help you do that, someone at the registrar's office or a counselor. If we select that link, we get this Canvas homepage. This is a picture I took of mine several semesters ago, and at that time there were 3 classes that I was teaching. That's what this is showing. Yours will show the classes that you are taking. Each one has one of these boxes by it. I've put a picture in my boxes But for right now, there's an assignment I need you to do in order for you and I to communicate clearly and effectively during the course of the semester. You can see up in the left-hand corner an arrow pointing to the account selection over there on the icon ribbon on the left-hand side of this page. If you select that, you get this pull-down menu or this ribbon to the side that allows you to do a number of things. And the thing that is essential that you do is you deal with settings and notifications. If you don't do this, you and I will have trouble communicating because I send lots and lots of announcements and lots and lots of emails and so on during the semester, and it's important that you get them when I send them. We're going to begin with settings, if that's okay with you. When I pull up settings, this is a screenshot I took of the picture. I usually like to make these fill up the screen, but couldn't get the whole thing doing it that way. And you can see that the selectings setting is circled over there, and you get this page with the information that is circled over on your right. I'm going to blow that up for you. It looks like this. Okay, your email address, mine is green@dixie.edu. That's the email address that I use for my dealing with people on campus. You need to put your email address, whatever it is, you need to put that into that area and make sure. This means that when I send you an email, you'll get that email to whatever email tool you're using. So if you're using Gmail or Yahoo or Outlook, whatever it is you're using for your email server, put that in. Your Dmail account is already in there. And if there are any other contact methods that you need, if you're using some of the social media sites, if you want the emails to come to Facebook, which I understand most of you don't use nowadays, or something like that, then you would do that there. Okay, you need to get my emails when I send them. This is where you go to do that. The next one that we choose is called notifications. This page, I've cut it down a little bit. Looks like this. What I need you to do here is just go to the line that I have circled called announcement. When I send out my announcements, it's important that they come to wherever it is that you are getting all of your information. Your email should be in there if you set it by settings. See, that's the first column. The next one is the one that's important. The bell needs to be green. Okay? See, some of the bells aren't, and you just select it. It's a toggle, and turn it green, and that means that all of my notifications will come to wherever you told the notifications to come to, over there. They'll come to your email. They'll come to your campus Dmail email as well, but that push notifications needs to be, you need to make sure that that's selected. If you would do that. I'll remind you of this at the end of this presentation. Okay, I'm going back now. This is a more recent picture of the homepage, my homepage that I've cut a little bit. But you can see I have lots of boxes up here for classes that I teach, because I teach multiple sections of classes, and Canvas is handling that differently than the picture that I took before. And you can see two sections of American government are circled down here. Yours will be one of these, and that's the only one that'll show up, but I've got two. I'm going to blow one of those boxes up for you just so you can see it. Okay, this is for the morning section, and if you're not getting my announcements and you can't figure out how to make that work, as we just went through it, this little bullhorn here on this box will allow you to acquire my announcements anytime that you wish to. I'm now going to go up a little bit higher and select the link on this box, and by selecting the box with a link on it, you come to our Canvas homepage. So We'll start now with the home page. Okay, after the course homepage, we'll go to the homepage. It looks like this. I've cut it a little bit, but it is essentially the way that it will look. You can see my picture on it. That's the one, when I refer to the homepage, that's the, I'll refer to it often as the one with my picture. We're going to take a look at this homepage and go through the things that are on it. But first, I'm going to scroll down on it right now as we do it. But first, I want you to look at this header that I put into the homepage. We'll look at that. It has my contact information on it. And you can see where my office is, my phone number, and essentially the thing I wanted to point out as really important is when you're emailing me, and many of you will a lot, it's the way that you make appointments with me for office visits. I need you to use Canvas email, not my green Dixie email, which may get lost because of the protection tools that the community has, that the university uses to protect all of your information. Canvas email is internal, it doesn't leave the campus, and they always get to me. When emails come to me through Canvas, I have my notifications set up, my settings set up so that they are pushed right to my campus email. I get them that way anyway. And I always reply and get back to you on emails and phone calls, if it turns out, within 24 hours. If you call this phone number down here and I'm not in my office, you can leave a message. Please name and class you're in and very briefly what your business is. That is turned into a WAV file and sent to me by my email, and I get it even if I'm not on campus. So I'll be able to reply to all of these very quickly. So this is where you find my contact information. It's in the syllabus as well as we go. Okay, the next one, slide that I have, I've again gone back to the home page and indicated the inbox icon over there on the left-hand side ribbon. The inbox is where you go to do all email activity using Canvas. This is where Canvas email is. Next thing I'm going to do is scroll down below my picture on the home page, and here you see a box that has a number of links in it. One of the links is my office hours. One is the printable syllabus. That is, I'm not handing you out a syllabus on the first day. I'm going to just have you be able to get it here. It's a PDF file you can download on your devices, and you won't need to print it out if you don't need to, but you can if you wish. There's a printable schedule of the activities during the semester and something called the exam guide. Let's take a look at each of those in turn. The first one you see is a copy of my office hours. These are included, this picture is included on the front page of the syllabus as well. So it's easy to find. But if you need my office hours, here's where you come to get them. If you want an office appointment with me, it's a good idea to send me an email asking me for an office appointment during one of these times on here that's listed as office. I'll get back to you and indicate whether that has a conflict with it and indicate that that's when your appointment is, and leave my phone number with you so that we can conduct the visit by phone if you wish, or you can come in to my office if you want. Last year under COVID, we weren't allowed to have you come to the office. Now we can. So we can see you there, or if it's more convenient and you're at work, you can just call me at the appointed time and be sure of getting me. Okay. The reason all of these office boxes are there so that I can make appointments during those times. If I make an appointment, I'll be there. Most of the time I'm there if it says office, but it is not absolute for sure that I'll be there. You can come by if you want just to check in and see if I'm there, but making an appointment guarantees it. Next one is the printable syllabus. You can see on this page down below the office hours that we just looked at, so a second way for you to get access to those. You can see that this syllabus has a table of contents, so it's easy to find all of the information that you need. We use a syllabus as kind of a contract for the requirements for the class. So most of the information that you will need for the class is here, and you can find it there. I'll be discussing some of it with you as we go through this presentation today, but that's easy to find with the table of contents. You can see this is 10 pages long. About a third of the way down on the left-hand column, you can see the required texts. I'll be showing you those in a minute, but this is the first place that you can go in order to find the textbooks that you'll need for the class. Again, as I'll talk about them more later. Okay, get the syllabus. It's one of the second assignment after doing the settings and notifications thing on Canvas, is to get the syllabus and have it at your disposal if you need it. You'll also need to download the semester schedule. This I recommend that you print out or you have available on your phone or your iPad, whatever device you're using, so that you can see it all of the time. I follow the schedule religiously. It tells you when all of the quizzes, all of the tests, all of the exams, anything else that is due and other kinds of information, and it's organized by the weeks in the semester. You'll be able to see when the midterm and the final will occur, and so on. Now, I have announcements set up in Canvas so that when these things occur, you'll get an announcement a few days ahead, but you can always check on the semester schedule. And if you are having trouble keeping up with the material that we're going through, I'll often refer you to the printable schedule. In addition, as we get ready to as we move through the semester, we'll begin getting ready for the exams. And as part of getting ready for the exams, I'm going to have you do an initial ideology paper. All of the directions for dealing with my papers and the writing requirements that I use are included in this preparation guide. It includes a template for the midterm exam and the final exam. Now, the directions that will appear in Canvas when you take the midterm are already written here, so you can read them before that opens. Same thing for the midterm. In addition, there is a list of all of the potential questions that I can use on the midterm and the final. If they're not on the lists in this document, they will not be on your midterm and the final. That gives you a real opportunity to take your notes during the class based on the questions as they're listed. I also have them posted separately as Word files on the homepage, which we'll be going to next after we do this. I do not want you to print out this exam guide, but download it as a PDF file and have it where you can access it on your computer or your phone as it becomes necessary for you to do that. Okay, I'm now moving down a little bit further on the home page, and the first thing we come to is a list of the exam questions, as I just promised. That is, I've taken all of the lists of exam questions. There are three kinds of them: passage questions, short response questions, and essay questions. And I'll talk about those later in the semester, maybe a little bit later when we're going through the syllabus. But this is where you can find links to find those. Okay, scrolling down a little bit more, when we do the ideology paper, part of the assignment will be to take one of the online ideology quizzes. There are many. These are some that I found. Take it and report on it as part of the ideology paper. It's supposed to tell you whether you're a liberal or a conservative or something else, and you can decide whether you agree with it or disagree, or if it gave you insight into your own ideology or something like that. Okay, I'm now going to move back up on the home page and talk to you about the Canvas tools. The next item we come to, the next topic, are the Canvas tools. If I pull up this slide for the home page, again, over on the left-hand side, you can see a second ribbon has been circled. In the Canvas training that I received when we began using Canvas, these were always referred to as the Canvas tools. And I will refer to them that way all semester. It's necessary for me to refer to them in emails, sometimes in announcements, and so I will do that. You can see there's syllabus, we'll talk about in just a second, a tool for the syllabus, and pages for assignments, quizzes, Zoom, and so on. And again, this is where you find them, where you use them. I've blown up the ribbon so that I can use it and discuss it with you. The first tool that I want to go to is a Canvas page that has been inserted since the COVID epidemic called Zoom. Here's the page you get if you open it. At my discretion, this was required under COVID regulations, but at my discretion, I can open the Zoom meeting for each of the classes that we have, and I intend to do that. The advantage of that is that it records the class meeting. There are microphones in each room, and a camera taking pictures, and I can make my slides be what you see on Zoom. And so it's fairly easy to follow what we did in class after we did that. Canvas will record these if I set it up to record them, which I have, and leave them up for 30 days. You can see over there on the right-hand side, arrow pointing to recording, that's where you go to find the recordings, okay? On this particular page is where you log in order to open the Canvas meeting on the day that, on the class day that we're having. When I come in, I set it up so that this opens. So you open it up, your pictures are going to appear on the side of our screen. Everybody in class will be able to see you there. And we can do it that way. Now, the advantages of recording, the disadvantage is students who use the Zoom meeting rather than being in class don't do as well. Somehow not seeing the body language, not seeing my lips move, which you won't be able to on the Zoom meeting. I'm showing you the slides on the Zoom meeting. Seeing the reactions of other students, whether they laugh at my jokes or groan at my jokes or whatever else is going on. Somehow, just in the whole system of the things, the learning is just better if you are in class. So I'm going to require that you be in class. If you're ill, stay home and Zoom. If you have to be to work and can't make class, but you could Zoom part of it, Zoom it, and then go look at the recording. That'll be fine. I don't take attendance every day. When I do, though, attendance points will only be awarded to those people in class, not to those people Zooming. Okay? So I'm going to move from the Zoom now to the syllabus selection. There's a printable syllabus that I introduced to you earlier, and that's the best way to use the syllabus and go through it. So when I created this page, one that I get to create, I didn't put everything in the syllabus in it. It's too hard to keep that updated all of the time. Just a few things that I want to use with these slides. And so let's take a look at that right now. This is the syllabus page. The first thing you notice is, again, the header. When I make my pages, the ones that I have control over in Canvas, I put these little headers in that are taken from artwork. Again, just to set it aside, make it more special. I am student-oriented. It's one of the messages I want to send with respect to this. I have more office hours, for example, than any other teacher that you have, okay? And you can see that the syllabus, the schedule, and the exam guide links are here as well as on the home page. Also, my contact information is there on this page as well. I'm more interested, though, going to scrolling down because I put here the books, our textbooks for the semester. We have two of them. A textbook, the yellow one that you see there is our textbook. It's called We the People. It's now in its 13th edition. I'm using the Essentials edition. There's a bigger version of this that sells for $150. This one sells for about $80, I think. It's brand new this semester, and so you will need this one in order to do well on the test. The 12th won't work for you as well as this one. The 12th has some of the same stuff, but the authors, every 3 years, the publishers have the authors change them just enough so that different questions can be put in the question banks. And so you're at a disadvantage if you're using an older edition. If you have the older edition and can get by with it, you understand you're taking a risk when you take the tests with respect to it. The Taking Sides book is a book of readings about political issues. It's called Clashing Views on Controversial Political Issues. Okay, I use a version of this in several classes, and what it has is each chapter is 2 contrasting essays on a controversial political issue. For example, there's a chapter in this one on abortion, in which there's someone taking the position that abortion should be legal, someone taking the position that abortion should be illegal. We're going to debate that on the day that we do that reading. I'll have a quiz for you that we'll talk about in a minute on that particular reading, and you'll use the semester schedule to figure out which readings you have to do on which days. You will need this book. You may be able to find it used at the bookstore because it's not new this semester, but you will need this 21st edition. The 20th edition has different readings in it, and you will not be able to find the ones that I'm assigning. Okay, so you will need both textbooks. We're going to use them both. We'll read the whole textbook, the whole We the People book, and we'll do 6 of the chapters in the Taking Sides book that you'll have to have. If you can find them electronically, wonderful. Go ahead and do that. I have no objection to that at all, but you will need them in order to be ready for the test section of the grading and the quiz section of the grading. We should probably go there now. The next segment we'll do is grading. If I scroll down to below the textbooks on the syllabus page, I come to this segment where I put in the grading formula. You'll be able to find this formula in addition in the syllabus, okay, where under the heading of grading. So you'll be able to always find it there. This slide, I've blown it up and made it so it's easier to see, and I'll go through it with you right now. The first grading criteria that I will use are 2 written exams, okay? The midterm and the final exam. This will be 50% of the total grade. Your average grade on the midterm, well, it's not the average grade. The final, we weighted 60%, the midterm 40. Many of you have not taken a written exam before, and so I'm going to give you a chance to use the midterm as practice. So it won't count as much. But using that weighting, 50% of your grade this semester will be based on the exams. I'll explain what they are in just a second. The next thing are the tests. You will take 4 tests, and these are all based on the textbook. Both the written exams and the tests you're going to take at home on your computer. Okay, test number 1 covers the first 5 chapters in the textbook. Test number 2, I'll test you on the actual language in the American Constitution, which is found in the appendix to the textbook. And also I've got a version of it posted online on the homepage. Chapter 3, the middle 5 chapters, and chapter 4, the end 5 chapters. Each of these will be scored, and your average grade on it will be 30% of the final grade. Finally, quizzes, which must be taken in person, in class. You come to class to do these. We'll use the Taking Sides assignments for these. I'll have an in-class quiz during the first 3 minutes of class on the day when one of those readings is assigned. After 3 minutes, the quiz closes, and if you come late, you're going to miss those points. If you're trying to Zoom at home, you will miss those points. You will not be able to make this up. This is an in-class activity because after the quiz, we will then, as a class, begin discussing everyone's opinion on what the correct answer is to should abortion be legal or should abortion be illegal, what is the proper gun control measures and so on. That's another one we'll do. We're going to do, I'd love to do this, we're going to do drugs as one of the, you all bring your own on that day. And after, we'll do 6 of these during the semester, and your grade on those is going to constitute this quizzes grade. Now, in addition, I'm taking attendance on the days that we do the quizzes. If you're in class, you get 2 points. If you're not in class, you get 0, meaning that you stayed during the whole class and participated in the discussion. The attendance is, did you stay and participate in the discussion? I'll assume over the semester that you participated if you were in class, because I'll be calling on everyone by the time I get done, not all on the same day, but I'll get to everyone as the semester progresses. Okay. In addition, at random times during the semester, I'll also have pass around an attendance roll just to keep track of that as we go. At the end of the semester, I am required, when I turn in final grades, to tell the university the last day you attended if you get a D or below. This is in order to comply with federal regulations relative to your student loans. And so this is my way of having some sort of a way of estimating the last day you were here if you fall into one of those categories. Okay, let's move on to each in turn now. The written exams, 50%. All of the questions on the written exams will come entirely from the lectures and discussions that we conduct in class. The material that I'm covering in class is different from the material in the textbook. Okay, the textbook is pretty much definitional, kind of like a biology text. That's not a fun way to run a political science class. It's way more fun to talk about the ideas and deal with the ideas, political ideas that we behind it. My lectures are unique. Can't find them online. Can't find them in a book. And if you're going to do well on my exams, you need to be in class and take really good notes on my lectures. I'll outline the discussions that we have with PowerPoint slides, which I have posted, and I'll show you where they are soon. Okay. Again, let me remind you that in the exam guide and at home, I have all of the potential questions for the exams already listed. Okay, all of the exams will have some of those questions copied exactly word for word and put into the exam. So if you've got that all done, you should be able to do well on the exams. You'll take them at home, and at home you may use your notes and slides as you take the exam. Okay, for each midterm and each final, there are 5 versions. This is my way of controlling the eligibility of the exam and to prevent cheating and that kind of thing. And you'll receive your version assignment and an access code to it a couple of days before the exam opens. Okay. Each exam is open for exactly 24 hours, from 12:01 a.m. on the exam day to 11:59. You can take it anytime on your computer that time if you have the access code that allows you to get into your version. They will all be timed. The midterm for 60 minutes. The final exam has an extra essay question will be timed for 90 minutes. The exact dates for the exams you can find both on the announcements that I'll send and on the semester schedule. This next slide is something that you need to be aware of. Since you already have all of the questions, it's going to be in your interest to find other students and work with them as you prepare strategies for answering the questions. I'll talk to you about how to prepare strategies during the semester. It is also important that you not get together and prepare answers that you can, each of you, here's the answer to number 1, let's all submit that if we get number 1. If that happens, I will know it. You will fail the test, and you may be referred as participating in plagiarism to the dean, and it could put your registration, your ability to stay on campus at risk, depending on what a campus committee decides. Not you, a campus committee. I will report anyone doing that. As groups, you can prepare strategies for questions. I am absolutely in favor of that. Students who do that do better in the class. Do not prepare the same answers, okay? Also, in order to pass the class, you need to take both exams. It's 50% of the grade. I just make it a requirement because failure to take it almost always means you fail the class. So I'm just putting that up front. If you miss the midterm, you will have failed the class, in other words, okay? And by the way, I'll send you a note at that point, and we can talk about a makeup midterm. There is no makeup for the final. University policy requires that you have permission to do an early or late final. The tests. The tests are taken from sets of questions given to me by the publisher of the We the People textbook. I simply have a program that selects them at random. So there are going to be 4 versions of each test, and each of the questions will be taken at random from this database. I don't write the questions. People who wrote the textbook write the questions. Therefore, reading the textbook thoroughly is going to be the key to doing well on these as you go. Again, since they're online, I'll send you a version assignment and an access code a couple of days before you have to take the exam, okay? And you'll take it at home, okay, on your home computer. Each question has 60 questions. Each test has 60 questions. Mostly multiple choice. Question number 2, test number 2, I had to write the questions on the Constitution, and there's some true false in that one. But generally multiple choice questions, and you will have 45 minutes only to answer them. Now, the last thing on this list says use the practice tests. I have created practice tests that you can use in order to prepare to take the graded version of the test on the date that it's assigned. There are 2 practice tests, 15 questions each for each chapter that you've been assigned, and 1 non-graded 45-minute 60-question practice test that you can take just before you take the actual test. We'll look where they are in just a minute. Finally, in this section, the quizzes, 20%. Again, they're 2 contrasting essays that you will have to read on each day that a quiz is assigned. And the purpose of that is to prepare us for a kind of debate discussion that we'll have during most of the class. No PowerPoint slides for these, just me and all of you talking about the issues that I've assigned, okay? The dates that these are due are in the semester schedule, and also there'll be an announcement that asks you for them. Okay, there are going to be 6 of these. They're worth 8 points each. In addition, I'm going to have you early in the semester, when we do the set of slides called ideology, we're going to do an ideology paper. I'm going to have you tell me what your ideology is. As part of that, remember, you have to take one of those ideology quizzes. Okay, the ideology paper will be worth 16 quiz points. Okay, we have a pre-test and a quiz on this introductory video set that you're now watching. They're each worth 8 points. and they will be open as soon as Canvas opens. You can take those before the semester starts if you wish. Okay, the pretest requires no preparation. Take it. We're just going to see how much you know about all of this before the semester starts. And if you take it, you'll get 8 quiz points. If you don't, you'll get 0. This will be open 2 weeks into the semester, as will the introductory video quiz. Some questions on these this video that you're now watching that you can take too. At the end of the semester, I have a post-test. Like the pretest, take it and get all of the points. There's also an Ask Mr. Green take-home quiz. During the semester, we'll be talking about controversial issues, and my opinion will just get in the way and bias discussions. I'm going to try and hide my views from you. At the end of the semester, though, you can. Now that we've talked about the grading, let's continue and go through the rest of those, or some more of the Canvas tools, the ones that I use a lot. The next one I'd like to look at is called assignments. I think this is the most useful way for you to do your tests and exams. You can do it through the quizzes tool that I'll show you in a second as well. But I think assignments is better because I can organize assignments and make them rational. Quizzes I can't organize. If I open the assignments tool, you'll see very first that everything is in categories. The first one is called University. That's just my heading for various things that I'll use. The pretest and the post-test are here, which are university tools for assessing the course for accreditation. It's something that I need to worry about and you don't. That's why taking the pretest and the post-test gets you all of the points if you just take them. You see the pretest and the intro video quiz right there at the top, okay? If we go down, the assignments tool is the only place that I can have you upload stuff to me. And I'm only having you upload one thing this semester, and that's this ideology paper. That'll be assigned about in the second week of the semester and due a couple of weeks after that. I'll talk to you more about it in class. I have a full slide that gives you the directions for it. And so I think we'll leave that for after the class has started. I'm going to scroll down now. The next thing that I run into is test number 1. You can see there are 4 versions of it and a special one that I use just in case someone had some sort of an emergency and wasn't able to take the test. You'll see those with the exams and the tests. Don't worry about them. They're not available to anyone who doesn't get special permission from me. And I have to set them up anyway for you to even use them. So you can see the graded time test number 1 and 2. When you get your assignment for test number 1, it'll be A, B, C, or D. You'll go there, open it up, type in or copy in the access code from the email that I sent you, and go ahead and take it, okay? Again, these are 45 minutes, the time for 45 minutes. If I scroll down even further, the midterm is set, and I'll open these a couple of days before the midterm, make sure I'm up to date on all of the questions in all of them. Then test number 3 follows that. So I've got these kind of in chronological order. I won't go any further. Test number 4 is down there, and the final is all that you would see if we moved on down. Again, because these are organized and in the chronological order primarily that you take them and that you use them, it's way easier to get to them from here. The next one we'll use is the quizzes tool, okay? And if I go to the quizzes tool, this is I can't ever quite make out what the rationality, I'm sure they have one, for the way that Canvas posts these, but you'll find all of the quizzes activities. I call them tests, but Canvas, I rename them tests, but Canvas calls them all quizzes. So anything where you respond by multiple choice or true false or essay, something like that, to me on one vehicle is all created in this section and listed here. So you can see that the pretest is there, the introductory video quiz, and so on. The quizzes page is organized into two sections. The assignment quizzes, which you see over in assignments anyway, you can find them all over there. And if I scroll down, and I'm going to do it now, it's quite a ways, you come to another break called practice quizzes. Now, this is the only place where you can find the practice quizzes that I referred to earlier when I told you when you're getting ready to take test number 1, test number 2, these are on the Taking Sides book, that there are practice tests. You can see here, practice time test number 1. Okay, you would take that probably just before you load up the access code for your assigned your assigned graded test and take it. So this is 45 minutes, 60 questions. It's not graded. I don't get a score on it. Canvas doesn't report a score to me. You can just kind of see how you're going to do. You can use that to help you. If you down a little further, you can see there are 3 practice quizzes, I've called them, for the Constitution. That's for test number 2. I didn't have the same database of questions for that. I had to write my own. And so I've made great big practice tests that you can use to get ready for that. And then a practice test 2 is based on those questions. If you do all of the practice quizzes A, B, and C for test number 2, you'll probably see most of the questions that I wrote and to be able to do well and work on them. Then down below practice tests, you can see practice quiz chapter 1A, practice quiz chapter 1B to the bottom. Each chapter I've created a quiz from the chapters in the textbook. So as you read the chapters in the textbook, you can use these to help you. For these practice quizzes and the Constitution ones, I allow you to take them 3 times. I give you 60 minutes to work on each one. So if you read your chapters and use these effectively, you should be able to do really well on your tests. Those of you who do will do really well on your tests. Those of you who choose not to won't. That's been my experience. In this next section, we're going to do this special tool, Canvas Pages. The Pages tool up next to the home page up there, and I forgot to relabel that Pages tool. I should have. Boy, error. Next time I do this, I'll fix that. But if you push on it, this is a little confusing, can be. You get the home page again, except the home page has now added this View All Pages tool button. I don't know why Canvas did this. Well, based on my limited knowledge of programming, there maybe have been some sort of scheduling thing that they had to do in order to make this work, but this is the way they've chosen to do it. So to get to Pages, you have to push the button twice. When you do that, you get a page that I've really blown up here, okay? That opens up, but you can see the pages. I get to create all of these. And so if you see them here, these are the ones that always have one of those nice artwork headers in them when you open them. I would like to look at the grade posting page first, okay? So let's click on that. If we do, now, before I go to what shows up when I do that, I want to go back to the Canvas homepage. And I've really zoomed out in order to get this thing, because it's the only way I could get to that button down there, that View Grades button that you see. So you can see the boxes up there for the classes that someone might have. You'll have them for yours. And there's the View Grades. If you've been using Canvas before and you all love this, you can just click on that and go, and Canvas is already keeping track of your grade, telling you approximately how you're doing. It's usually meaningless early in the semester because you haven't done most of the stuff that's where the heavy part of the grade comes. But It does make many of you feel well. Because of some of the ways that I run this class in order to try to make it more student-oriented, I do not use, nor do I set up the programming in the Canvas grading tool. Therefore, I'm not using it. To find your grades, you're going to have to use my grade posting page. You need to remember this, and don't keep checking that to find out what your grade is in this class. Okay, so when I push that View Pages button, the new one on the home page, this is what I get. Okay, it's the grade posting page. You see a grade calculator there. You can't use that until after the midterm has been graded. But the test grade, the quiz grade, it's about all you can see there. I'll show you what is on it, okay? I have a grade calculator, the test grades, quiz grades, the attendance grades I'm keeping track of, and then all of the weightings that go along with those. And after the midterm, you take the midterm exam, I'll report your score and your grade on the midterm exam. And then I'll give you, based on the scores that you have on your tests to that point, your quizzes to that point, and on the midterm exam, what your current semester grade is. So that'll be the purpose of that one. After that, you can use my grade calculator, an Excel file, to keep track of your grades the way you do like to in Canvas, only it'll be way more accurate and you'll have a better picture of actually what's going on, okay? Now, I'll get criticized for this. Many of you don't like this, but we're going to do it. At the end of the semester, after I've got your final exam graded, the first place that you will see your final grade will be on this final semester grades posting that you see here. I'll show you more about these as we run into each of these reports during the semester. The next item on the Pages tool, the View All Pages tool, is PowerPoint slides. As I promised, all of the slides that I'm going to use, including these that we're using here, will be available to you. And many of you will find these very useful as you study for your exams. Remember, the exams are based on the discussions we have around these slides. So if I go over and choose it, here is what the page looks like. And each of the slide shows that I prepared during the semester are listed on down there. I'll blow it up a little bit for you. You can see first one, on the first Wednesday of the semester, we'll begin talking about the slides on politics. I may have already started in the afternoon class on Monday for that, but the morning class I will not have. Then we'll move to the ideology, where we'll assign that ideology paper, and on through, and we'll probably not get through all of the slides I have prepared. In the past few semesters, I've only been getting to and through the one on the imperial presidency. The next one is called Taking Sides Quizzes. This is one, again, one that you need to pay fairly close attention to. I always find people who are surprised about what I'm going to tell you at this point as we go through. Okay, this is what it looks like. And each of the links that you see in this is the name in the Taking Sides book of the chapter that is assigned for the particular reading, okay? And you can see a sample quiz there. On quiz day, you'll come to class and I'll pass out a sheet, an answer sheet with an answer, well, a sheet of questions, the quiz questions, and you will respond to them right on the sheet and pass them in to me. There's a sample of one of those sheets here. The next one you see is a link called Is Bigger Government Better Government? If you click on that link, you'll find a list of 14 questions. 7 based on the first reading. In that case, someone is taking the position that bigger government is better government. And 7 based on the alternate reading, someone who says bigger government is not better government. Okay. If you can answer those 14 questions, 7 from the first reading, 7 from the second, you will do really well on your quizzes, because the 3 questions on your in-class quiz will be taken word for word from those 14. 3 of the 14 will be on the quiz. This is how you study for the quiz. The purpose of these quizzes is to get you to read the readings well enough to be able to answer quiz questions so that we can have a reasoned discussion of the issue involved. My purpose here is not to use this as the primary final grade determiner. And in fact, if you are really good at keeping up on preparing for these quizzes, the average grade in class normally is really high. Okay, generally above a C+. If you let down on them, then you're going to get way behind other people who are keeping up on them, because all of the questions on the quizzes are given to you ahead of time. Here are the topics that we will discuss during the semester, the 6 topics. First one, as we just saw, is bigger government. The next one centers around the cake baker who wouldn't bake the cake for the gay couple because of his religious beliefs. Does religious freedom trump, can I use that word in our class? Does religious freedom trump anti-discrimination laws, or should anti-discrimination laws prevail? The abortion issue, drug legalization issue, the gun rights issue, and the immigration issue are the 6 that we'll discuss during the semester. Okay, we're now to the end of this video presentation. I want to remind you of the assignments that have been applied as we've gone through these, so that you can kind of get ready. Remember, you're going to turn in the information sheet to me on the first day. I'll have a hard copy in class, but there is one posted if you want to look at it, or if you want to fill it out because you want to send it to me from home, take a picture of it or something and send it from home. Okay, make a PDF file out of it. By Wednesday, August 25th, by the end of the day, okay, you should have taken the pretest and the introductory video quiz. If you haven't done by that day, they're still going to be open for an additional 2 weeks, but get them done early. Probably go find the PowerPoint slides called Politics. If you're in the afternoon class, we will already have started that by the time you do this, unless you do this early and get them out early. I'd begin reading Chapter 1 in the We the People textbook. You can look on the semester schedule to see what the assignments are, because that test opens 3 weeks after the first day. Okay, that's the end of this introductory presentation, and I look forward to seeing you on the first day. Thank you.